Hi, we're Django Django.
And this is Records in My Life.
Abbey Road, a good record?
The second half, the side B is pretty much my favourite. Like, what is it, 18 minutes long? It's my favourite. I think the Beatles ever did.
What about the first half? What is it about the first half that isn't?
I don't know. I always just go to side B.
Really?
You never say you skip over A all the time.
Kinda, yeah.
Really?
Imagine that.
Yeah, kind of.
Pulling out.
I listen to side B a lot.
So there's
and
not one
good,
like. So there's not one or two. I mean, this is the Beatles record.
No, sure.
There's got to be at least one or two good tracks.
I'm just saying, when I often get Abbey Road, and I often just put in side B.
Let's just stick on the Beatles for a second, because they're such an impressive thing.
Yeah.
Is that record? I mean, was that one of the turning points for the for the band, like in terms of your inspiration?
In terms of us, well, it's one. It's the Beatles, kind of the Beatles, Beach Boys, Monkees. It's like three bands that we're all just like, yeah, they're brilliant. We love them.
It's a kind of meeting point, isn't it? I guess.
So, well, like Monkees, give us a couple of scoop us on
I think with Monkees, it's mainly we just always go back to Head, which is just a really great record, and it's kind of overlooked in a way, but it's really, really adventurous. It's really cool. It's got some brilliant tunes on it. It's a really interesting movie as well in terms of like how it got made and who produced it. And
so was it Jack Nicholson?
I think he was part of one of the producers behind.
Right. Okay.
There was like three dudes, and they all just smoked a lot of pot and just got into anyway. But it's interesting. It's just really an interesting record, and it's not one that gets talked about.
What album would you have liked to have been a witness during this recording?
Yeah, I mean, for me, Pet Sounds, just being around the production of that, the mechanics of putting that album together. I mean, it was just seeing snippets of Brian Wilson in the studio,
a man just so on his game.
Yeah, got rifling through. He had like a handful of jewelry at some point and was trying to get a perfect kind of like sound, just from dropping his handful of jewelry onto a table, and he's like, no, it's not quite right, it's just like someone who's totally immersed in the making of a record and has such a like vision for what I can't imagine there was ever a point where he didn't know what was unsure. I can imagine he was so kind of like focused on what he was doing, and just the musicians that he had, in the studio would have been pretty astonishing to see that record being put together.
Okay, what about a live? Is there an album you'd like to hear? Because a lot of bands have been doing that over the last, 10 years, like the Pixies and.
One of the few records that. My dad had this really odd record collection. It was really hit and miss. I mean, really hit and miss.
Moody Blues,
some really good stuff. He had a lot of Moody Blues. But he had Get Your Yayas Out by Rolling Stones, which is an excellent live record. I mean, he's like just Mick Jagger at his height of his pomp and stuff. He's so funny, so entertaining. Even on record, you don't have to see him. He's just like, listen to him chat and you can just imagine him. You sort of feel like you're there, but they're just such an excellent band, like such a tight band rhythm section, and then just such an amazing frontman and sort of presence and force of Jagger. So I really love Get Your Yayas Out.
Is there can you give us a band from let's jump to the modern era or today? Give us a good young band.
A good young band at the moment that we're listening to. I mean,
the last modern, the most recent thing I was listening to that came into my head when you mentioned it was Bad Bad Not Good, their new album.
Oh yes,
which is really terrific.
Canadian.
They're really, really great. Are they Canadian? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're Canadian boys.
It's perfect. But they're just really. I really, really, really like what they're doing. I really like it. And the new record's brilliant. Cool. So that's the most recent, current sort of artist that I was listening to.
Let's do one. I hear the footsteps. I think this. So let's do one more quick one. What's an album you couldn't live without from your collection?
It was Harry Nilsson as well. What's the album you got me for my birthday?
Me and my Addo. Well, no, it's not called The Point.
The Point.
Point.
Yeah, The
Yeah.
Point. I couldn't live without that album.
Yeah, that's lovely.
That's the macrame with the like blanket on, like a macrame on the cover, right? Yeah.
And this one, it comes with a
Little storybook. About,
storyboard. That's another good one for the kids.
Yeah.
Can you just tell us about, I know it's been a while since your record came out, but tell us about the new album and where you recorded it and the name. And
Well, the name of the new album is Marble Skies, and we recorded it in our own studio, which was a conscious decision. So the first album we kind of did in sort of a bedroom come studio. Second album, we spent loads of money, went to a really fancy place, blah, blah, which was great, but we lost a bit of control. We kind of needed a middleman to help us, you know. And then, so this third album has been a summer meeting somewhere in between, where we're trying to get back control. But at times, when we're looking for a bit of a larger sound or a bit more of an ambient sound, well, we know, oh, let's record these drums at this studio. It's like, because now that we've done that, now that we've recorded in this fancy studio, we know what's really handy in order to get that. We can do this really quickly. So it's just been a bit of a both. But yeah, definitely trying to get some of that control back.
We wanted to kind of get a bit of fun back into the record as well on this last one. I think that's the one thing that we spoke about before, you know, even like, you know, jamming ideas and stuff, was to try and get some more lighter moments, and I think being in an environment that we were more comfortable with allowed us to do that, you know. I guess just being in our own studio, we weren't thinking about time and money, and, you know, we could just go in and noodle around for 5 hours and not do anything. It didn't really matter, you know.
And also, we were keen to be able to capture any spontaneity of any sessions that we do, because I think we lost that in the second album. It's like we had this great idea and then we'd like try recreating it, you know, and that is so difficult to do that. So every time we did anything with the third album, we'd always make sure, well, we're recording it properly, there's a good mic on it, or we've got a good line in it. And I think that's really crucial. That's something we learned in the second album, is trying to hold on to those moments, because they're really precious and they're just impossible to recreate so often.
Yeah.
Great, guys. Thank you very much. You've been a real sport. And yeah, best of luck with everything. And we just like to ask one more question, not about records, but a life question. It's please give us words of wisdom or advice for our audience.
Words of wisdom. Oh my word. Always remember to wear underwear.
Yeah, never tie your shoelace in a revolving door.
That's a good one.
There you go.
I know that one.
You go.
I know that from
He's done it many a time. He's still not learned.
Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe.
And if you're really feeling it, please hit us up on Patreon. Cheers.